Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's your host, Chris Hurtado here again with the Hurtastic Reviews. I just wanted to say hi to everyone and apologize because on this channel, I haven't been posting a lot recently. The reason for that being is I've just been really busy with schoolwork. Currently, right now, I'm student teaching, and I just have been super busy with grading and, going to the middle school and also just, just the day-to-day stuff, that I have in my life. And watching movies isn't as easy as it has been when I first started this channel. But, you know what? I decided, I went to that Oscar party, which you can also see on my friend Nathan Jones's YouTube channel, which I'll post a link to that video in the description. It got me thinking about the Oscars and the movies and that have been winners and nominated films in the past. And first, I just want to say Green Book, if you didn't know, won Best Picture for the year of 2018. I was very shocked that it won. Am I completely upset? No. I personally like that movie. It should not have won Best Picture, though. And for me, if Beale Street Could Talk, which wasn't even nominated, should have been the Best Picture of that year by Barry Jenkins, who is a phenomenal writer and director. And I'm very much surprised that he wasn't even acknowledged for Best Picture in that movie, or even Best Director. But out of the ones that were nominated, I think Roma should have won from Alfonso Cuarón. I thought he did an amazing job with that film. It's sad that it's probably didn't win because of the Netflix controversy. I mean, I don't think the Academy's ready for a Netflix movie, but oh well. Anyway, so with today's video, I kept thinking, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do a top 5, a two-part video, actually, of my top 5 favorite Best Picture nominees. And then I'm going to do my top 5 in the next video, top 5 best, my favorite Best Picture winners. And I'll have 3 honorable mentions as well. I think it'll be just kind of fun to reflect on the Oscars, since it's going to be about a week since the Oscars were. And we'll see. Maybe if you have some of your favorites, just let me know. But with today, we'll start with the honorable mentions. So all 3 of them, I'll just talk about them very quickly. My first of the 3 honorable mentions is 1994's by Tarantino, Pulp Fiction. I think this movie doesn't even need an introduction at all. It's just fantastic. Tarantino is the voice of a generation for movies, since his every movie is certified gold. My personal favorite's Foxy Brown, but it's okay. Pulp Fiction's amazing. I lost to Forrest Gump in 1994. I'm gonna riot if I was there, because this movie should have won. Anyway, next one. It's the 2016 Best Picture nominee. That's probably the most not controversial, but most memorable. 6 wins out of 14 nominations. Damien Chazelle's La La Land. Man, this movie is fantastic. It is one of the best musicals ever made. Damien Chazelle, just like Barry Jenkins, is an amazing director. And I think those 2 guys, if they keep making movies, we're going to be entering a very special time in cinema. La La Land is basically an homage to old Hollywood. Not controversial, but I don't know why I say it's controversial, but it's just really kind of awkward part where it was announced as the winner, but then the Academy went back and because Warren Beatty got it wrong, but it's supposed to be Moonlight, which I just did see recently, and I thought it was amazing. So La La Land is my second honorable mention. I know, I hear already the angry shouts at me. But the last honorable mention, which is a personal favorite of mine, I just cannot fit in my top 5, is Greta Gerwig's 2017 Best Picture nomination, which was Lady Bird. I've already talked about this movie, so I won't even talk about it. If you want to see that video, I'll put a link to that double feature for it down below. But those are my 3 honorable mention films. So let's go on to the top 5, my favorite Best Picture nominees. My number 5 is the 1997 Gus Van Sant, written by Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. 9 Oscar nominations, including Best Picture, Good Will Hunting. Lost to Titanic in 97. I'm very conflicted on that, just because Good Will Hunting is just a fantastic movie. It might even be a perfect movie. Objectively speaking, it might just be that. A story about a guy who has walls built just like us, and Robin Williams is there to help him because he's a genius, but he's also a punk. And you have your best friend being Ben Affleck, and you're in Boston, Massachusetts. life's tough, especially with Ben Affleck like now. But anyway, Good Will Hunting, fantastic movie. That's at my number 5. If you haven't seen that, this is a movie you need to watch before you. If you do anything else, just watch this movie. Seriously. Anyway, number 4. Number 4 is my 2007, another tough Oscar year. It's by one of my favorite directors, P.T. Anderson, and also one of my all-time favorite actors in Daniel Day-Lewis. That is obviously There Will Be Blood. This movie lost to No Country for Old Men, and honestly, objectively, subjectively, those movies are like at par. They're like both phenomenal movies. You can't really choose. How do you choose between them? You have the Coen brothers in a fantastic Western with Tommy Lee Jones and Josh Brolin and Javier Bardem, but then you have P.T. Anderson on the scene with one of the best actors in Daniel Day-Lewis, and then a very great performance by Paul Dano too, about the oil business during the 1910s in There Will Be Blood. Man, this movie has probably more quotes than No Country for Old Men, so maybe that's where it beats it. The milkshake quote always comes to mind. I've abandoned my child, and I'm an oil man. Man, this movie's phenomenal. And the fact that it's only at 4 really shows you how hard this list was, because this movie is this might be an all-timer for me, and it's at number 4. So, there you go. There Will Be Blood at number 4. But number 3, another all-timer. If you check my letterbox, it's right up there. 1976 is Martin Scorsese's, my personal favorite. I think it's his best. Taxi Driver, starring Robert De Niro. Oh my goodness, this movie is so good. I saw it in theaters, and honestly, that was like a bucket list check for me. Taxi Driver, for me, will be that moment in my life where it just changed the way I looked at movies. It just changed the way how I felt about them. When I saw Travis Binkle staring at himself, obviously saying, "Are you talking to me?" And everybody always misquotes that scene all the time. But when I saw that scene and the way I saw his character, and even now, and I just, man, and Paul Schrader wrote this. Paul Schrader, who wrote First Reformed, that movie didn't even get a Best Picture nomination, but he got a Best Original Screenplay nom. He wrote this. Paul Schrader, are you kidding me? Paul Schrader, Martin Scorsese, on a movie about a man who's unstable, who wants to make change after the Vietnam War in the very disgusting 1970s New York. Oh my gosh, this movie. I just gotta kiss it. Look at it. I mean, Jodie Foster, Harvey Keitel, Peter Boyle. Scorsese puts himself in there. There he is right there. Just this movie's amazing. Seriously, I even have a poster of it downstairs. I gotta keep moving on. But that movie lost to Rocky in 1976. Rocky, which is, I love Rocky a lot. I really love Rocky. I seriously do. I love that entire franchise. How do you choose? I mean, how do you choose? Because Rocky, if you take that movie out of like all the sequels, Rocky is a phenomenal movie about a man and personal struggle of poverty and overcoming difficult things in a man's life. Yeah, how do you choose? It's tough. I'm conflicted. Anyway, number 2. This is a hard list. The noms were actually harder, in my opinion, than the winners. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. But number 2. This is another all-timer for me. I don't know why I always say all-timer, because I don't have an all-time movies list yet. I'm too scared to do that, and I definitely am not ready to make that kind of list or commitment. But I just know when I do, this movie's gonna be here. And then obviously that's 2011's Woody Allen, Midnight in Paris. I don't know if everyone has seen this movie yet or not, but this is a very special movie to me. It has everything I love in my personal life. It has jazz, it has France, it has the lost generation of the 1920s in Paris, like Ernest Hemingway, F. Scott Fitzgerald, Gertrude Stein, Picasso, Salvador Dali, Adrian Brody, and Owen Wilson. Everything I love in my life is right there. And this movie gives it to me. And the jazz is amazing. I don't think this movie, when it was nominated, was going to win Best Picture. But I thought it was my favorite of that year in 2011. I saw this movie, and I sat after, and I just had to breathe in and be like, oh my God, I just finally found my movie. Like, this is one of my all-time favorite movies. And it's just about a man who's conflicted. He's born in the wrong. He really feels like he's born in the wrong time. He thinks he would be happier in an older time, and his fiance Inez thinks he's delusional. He's a movie script writer, which I'm jealous about. He's a movie script writer, and he wants to give this all up, living in a Malibu home, to live in Paris, because when he was in his 20s, like someone here, he lived in France, in Paris, France, and he decided to come back to the States, but he knew he was happier there. It has easily one of the best endings of any movie, in my personal opinion, about walking in the rain. Not singing, but walking in the rain in Paris at night, where it's probably its most beautiful. But if you haven't seen this movie, definitely check this movie out, Midnight in Paris. Last one, number one. It's a very easy pick. I'm not even going to have you hold your breath at all. But number one is obviously 1977. It lost to Annie Hall. Debatably the most impactful movie of cinema. George Lucas's Star Wars. Come on. I mean, this is the Saga box set, but it's the original Star Wars. I don't have the despecialized versions at all, but I mean, Star Wars is Star Wars, especially The New Hope. My Return of the King is not Return of the Jedi is my personal favorite from the franchise, and definitely from the original trilogy too. But 1977 Star Wars, when I first saw that movie, I was like in kindergarten or first grade. I wanted the two, and I just rented all three of them all the time at Family Video. My dad every Friday would let me rent one movie. We had these little behavior slips, and if you were in the green all 5 days, he would go like, okay, we'll rent movies over the weekend for you. And I always try to be really good because I wanted to have all the Star Wars movies every single weekend. And he always made this joke, and you could ask him if you ever see him. He'll always say, yeah, he would always just get Star Wars all the time. And I'd always make sure I get Return of the Jedi, no matter what. If all the other two were checked out, I'd always get Return of the Jedi, because I liked green, and Luke's lightsaber was green, which they edited out for some reason, that scene where he constructs a new lightsaber. But my number one is obviously Star Wars, which lost to Annie Hall, which is also a great movie, and it should have won for sure. Star Wars was in no way going to win, but so that's the Oscars for you. I mean, not your favorites always are going to win. Maybe the most important movies don't usually win either. Citizen Kane didn't win. It lost to How Green Was My Valley. Anyway, that's part one of my favorite. Basically, we'll call this an Oscar special. But this was my top 5 favorite Best Picture nominees. And then I'm going to have a part 2 for the Best Picture winners. So I'm going to put some videos down below in the description. Please, in the comment section, let's have a discussion about some of these movies. Do you think I made it right when I said these movies maybe should have won a few times over the winners? Or what are your favorite nominees that you wish had won? Let me know down below. I hope to see you on the next video. Thank you so much for all the support. Nathan, Daniel, Seth, my girlfriend Annie, just everyone in my life. Thank you so much. David Harrington, thank you always for really being a competitor without even being competitive with me with movies. Check out his Instagram. I'm going to post a link on that down below as well for both videos. Fantastic guy with an amazing collection. Daisuke, I'll put a link to your your channel as well. Thank you so much for what you've helped me with the channel and our discussions we have. I really hope to see your nominations for sure. Anyway, I'm Chris Hurtado with Fantastic Reviews. I hope to see you in the next video. All right, I'll see you then.